Hi everybody, hope you're all well. Yeah, Yo Valley has come back after that very interesting vlog, this one here, where I kind of thought that Millie, who was the communicator in the Yo Valley situation, had kind of said that ARLA had stopped the trials, and I did think, that's massive if it's true, but it's coming from Yo Valley, which is a sort of odd position to be in. And when I tried to email ARLA, they didn't answer my question directly, but Yo Valley have come back since then with a little bit more clarification, as has ARLA. So I'll start with Yo Valley, and it's from Millie. I will put it'll be on the screen as well, but I've underlined the important bit. Following on from our previous communication, we wanted to let you know that the information we gave to you was not correct. After further checking this with ARLA, some of the farms have concluded, i.e. stopped the BOVAER trials, but others are ongoing and will finish later this year. I mean, honestly, ARLA are permanently off my shopping list. Just so you know, ARLA, you're lost. Call me a conspiracy theorist. Good, because quite frankly, I don't want nothing to do with your BOVAER trials. And now, even if it's finished, I'm never going to buy Lurpak or the rest of it ever again, or all your other brands, because you've got a few. And then they go on to say, at Yo Valley, we do not advocate or support the use of methane suppressing additives. Yo Valley, just for the record, do not use BOVAER, all right? That's 100% true, even for their non-organic yogurts. So if you do go to a supermarket and it is supplied by them, you can tell by the dairy code. A lot of you are dairy code experts. It's BOVAER free, and it's often a better priced version. So yeah, that was from Yo Valley. So let's get into the ARLA response. Hi Kerry, thanks for contacting ARLA, and I think it's with someone else. So Temmie, God, didn't want to have anything to do with me after that. And I think a lot of you emailed them too, which is absolutely fantastic, and possibly why they ended up saying that they need to answer. So and it's very similar. In fact, it's almost exactly the same as the Millie's Yo Valley. The projects across some of our farms have been staggered, and a number of these have concluded, whilst others are still ongoing and will finish later this year. Exactly the same as the Yo Valley. So, and Yo Valley are owned by ARLA, by the way, as well, although they kind of like to see themselves as a separate entity. So yeah, there we go. That's it. I mean, doesn't really change much as far as I'm concerned. It's still kind of ongoing. I mean, I just wouldn't trust anything ARLA said. I really wouldn't. Anne, what did you say? You sent me something so Anne, you sent me this. You said, from ARLA, when I asked if they would be identifying their product with BOVAER in it, and this is their response, because it's all these things. I'll put ARLA's email there in case you fancy having a chat. All our branded products are listed on our websites. However, we cannot provide a full list of our entire product range, as this is not something we share with members of the public. The health and safety of both consumers and animals is always our number one priority. Really? After that animal ARLA farm scandal? If it was top priority, you'd be ensuring that the treatment of cows would be a lot kinder, for Christ's sake, instead of hitting them and whatnot. Which was what was happening in that farm. BOVAER has already been extensively and safely used across Europe, and at no point during the trial will there be any impact on the milk we produce, as it does not pass from the cow into the milk. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not true. The FSA actually, and it's going to be on the screen right now, say the traces of 3-nop, which is the chemical component of BOVAER, are in the milk. We go over this every single time. It's a lie. That's not true. Because why would the FSA say that? They're the ones. They say it will not reach levels of concern. Well, what is the level of concern then? Let us know what the level of concern is. Tell us what where does tell us about this is from cows that have been fed with BOVAER. Tell us that. Just put that on your products. Sourced from milk that's where cows are fed with BOVAER. Put that in the blurb on the label, and then we can know whether or not we want to buy it and be part of that. Even if it's not reaching their so-called levels of concern, There's traces. So when you say that it does not harm the animals or negatively impact their health, well, why is Denmark, a university in Denmark, looking at that very thing? Yeah, that's that. Honestly. Oh, Frida, you sent me this. Oh yeah. Because I'll do a picture of what you sent me, because this is the ARLA Care Programme. I just noticed this statement on the side of an ARLA Cravendale 2-litre plastic bottle. It will be appearing on there, which I keep for. Oh, you keep for watering your kitchen potted plants. Sorry. See pic for full details, because obviously it's just what was on it. I mean, there's a picture. There'll be a picture there. All our cows have access to grazing as often as weather conditions allow. That is normal in dairy farms, especially in the winter. They are housed, unless they're the really rugged types, like, I don't know, a Highland cattle go indoors in the winter. I don't know. Hold on. As often as weather conditions allow, and provided it will not compromise their health or welfare. I think you go on to say, can we remind them, please? Shocking hypocrisy and lies. Remembering not just BOVAER, but the horror stories from an ARLA Yorkshire farm that you showed last week. That's the ARLA farm scandal. Thanks, Frida. Thanks for that. Yeah, the irony. Unbelievable. What else is there? What else? This is... Your emails are fantastic. Keep them coming, please, because they're absolutely brilliant. It really helps to sort of like shine a light on sort of this kind of thing, Right, let's have a look. What's next? Okay. Well, Ambrosia. Maybe other people could, perhaps, if you've got a spare 5 minutes, can email Premier Foods as well. What are they actually saying? Oh, yeah, hold on. So they do. Hi, Kerry. Mags here. Enclosing the latest email I asked the company in their reply over BOVAER, and I didn't think it explained it very well, so I have asked again for clarification. And this is from premierfoodshelpline.co.uk. I'll leave the email in the description. Dear Mags, thank you for getting in touch about our Ambrosia custard. And custard's a funny one because you don't get dairy codes on them, so it's very hard to identify where the milk that they use to make the custard comes from. As one of the UK's largest food producers with millions of consumers who enjoy our products, blah 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 blah, are always working to ensure the quality and safety of the food we make. The picture of this email will be up there as well. It is our policy to ensure that all our products are entirely safe and meet standards in line with all UK and European legislation and advice from food authorities such as the UK Food Standard Agency, etc., etc. Premier Foods sources milk and dairy products from a number of suppliers, including ARLA. We are not involved in the BOVAER trial being run by ARLA and some retailers. Well, we don't know where your milk comes from, so I mean, I'm not saying anything. I just make that of you what you will. Make that what you will. I don't know. Luckily, I don't buy Ambrosia custard, and I probably won't anytime soon, to be fair. But especially as you don't know where you source your milk from, basically. And you do source it from ARLA as well as other places, because obviously you're making a lot of custard. You need milk from all over. Oh, actually, Steve, you sent me this interesting email about COD. Now, I haven't really thought about COD. I don't buy it. So, but I think maybe it's something we can look into. Is if anyone knows about COD. So I'll get into Steve's email. Sort of what he said. So, hello, Kerry. My wife and I very much enjoy your YouTube channel. Thank you. We started watching when the BOVAER thing broke, but I see that you've branched out a bit. Let's try and dive. So, if anyone knows about COD, and it's where it's sourced from, because this is what you found quite interesting. So you're saying to me, I wondered if you've ever looked into the supply of whitefish into the UK. It appears that much of the cod sold in supermarket comes from China. It's caught in the North Atlantic, shipped across the world to China, where it's processed and packed before being sent back to the UK. Yeah, I mean, I never thought about that. I never knew. I don't buy cod. But what I probably will do is next time I'm in a supermarket, I'm going to have a look and see if, I mean, is it on the packaging? Did you see it on the packaging? Does it tell you where the cod comes from? I mean, it probably has to say, but that's really interesting. I kind of would have assumed that it would have been caught, the cod would have been caught around, but see, I don't know a lot about fish, but I've got a vague memory of it being, our quotas were low, and there's all this issue with I don't know enough, I'm afraid. But yeah, it's something that we can definitely look into. So if anyone knows, help share. Please share. If you've got any, you can email me or via the comments. It would be brilliant. So you said you stopped buying supermarket whitefish. At the same time, you're a big fan of fish and chips from the chip shops. Oh, it's been a long time. Fish and chips. Oh. Isn't that often haddock though these days? Am I right in thinking that? I don't know. And I've been trying to find out where their fish comes from. I contacted the Fish Fries Association, who would only tell me that almost all of it is caught in the Baltic, but they wouldn't answer my question regarding the possibility of it being processed in China. Fish Fries Association, what do you reckon? Thanks, Steve, for that email. That's really interesting. Yeah, I love battered fish, and I really do, and I would, as a real treat, that would be a fish and chip shop thing, and so I will actually have a look at that. Let's have a look at that. So there'll be more on this at a later stage. Yeah, that's really interesting. Well, on another note, I thought it'd be quite interesting to look at. So you know that Marks and Spencers are using BOVAER, and I think Alistair, you sent me an email saying, just following on your video that to do with that Arla Farm scandal with their cows when feeding BOVAER in their diet. At the end of January, I was in my local M&S food store and noticed their milk was endorsed by the RSPCA, and you actually sent a picture. I mean, I'll stick that on the screen. It's a lot easier because you'll see. I think this is actually quite interesting, because you said you emailed the RSPCA asking them if they were aware that M&S were using milk from cows being fed BOVAER in their feed, but particularly considering there is this university looking at whether or not cows feel discomfort, and so I followed your lead. I've actually emailed the RSPCA as well. I don't think I've had a proper reply yet, so that's this is worth a look. I think it's worth a look, because they are endorsing M&S milk, and I wonder, have they any idea about BOVAER? And this is interesting, because this has led to the RSPCA are doing a public consultation right now, and I'll share details in a minute. But let's just finish your email, Alice. There, so. And you said to them, could they be absolutely sure that BOVAER in the animal's diet was safe to the cow and to the customer buying the products using this milk? You're still waiting for a reply. Oh, right, that's interesting. Yeah, so I did email RSPCA and I said to them, I notice you support M&S milk. Are you aware that M&S are using BOVAER that is currently being researched in Denmark after reports of cows experiencing discomfort? And that in the tests, I mean, let's face it, in the tests that DSM, who the makers of BOVAER, did, some died when they had very high dosages. That's a well-documented thing. Given that you fight very hard for the welfare of animals, I'm shocked that you combine forces with a company using an additive that has not adequately been tested for its negative effects on cows. And that was my sort of email to RSPCA, and they did email me, not quite what I was expecting, to be fair. I'll just pull it up. And I wondered, maybe everybody would like to have a go at this, because it is I'll just do a picture. I will show. There'll be a link to it. An exciting new phase. Basically, this is like a public, the big conference, Animal Futures, the big conversation. It's live, and I think there's so many days left. I think it's literally like 10 or 11 days left. Join the big conversation. We want to hear your ideas about what you think should be done to improve animals' lives, whether it's at an individual, industry or government level. Sharing your thoughts with us can help create a better future for animals. You have only until Sunday, the 6th of April, to share your ideas. So you could, it's completely free and all that. I have actually chipped in and put my 10 pennies worth about BOVAER and how RSPCA are sort of endorsing M&S, etc. Just on that link, really. And just that BOVAER is an unknown, we don't truly know whether or not it's causing discomfort. It's changing the insides of their stomach. So the cows can't tell us whether or not they're feeling uncomfortable because they can't burp in the name of nut zero. So, yeah, let me have a look. There was some more info. So they're looking at 4 broad themes: how we use animals, animals and technology, farmed animals and food, animals in the wild. So it is like a big, everyone can have a little say, and it could be like caged animals no longer, you know, there's a lot more to it. It doesn't have to be BOVAER related. Go and have a look. It's just, the fact is, as a public, you've got a little chance to have your say about anything with relation to animals and how they're treated, etc., etc. It's very easy to do. I will put a link in the description to it. So it's I think it did say 6th of April that it's shutting down, etc. Go and have a look. It talks about lab grown meat, actually, animals and technology. I'll put a screen. It'll be on the screen. I know what I need to put up on the screen. So whilst lab grown meat and alternative proteins are gaining popularity, really? I don't think so. I can't. It's one of these words I can't say. Regulatory approval and acceptance by the public lags behind. Well, for very damn good reason, because it's absolutely, no, just no. What might help the public to see lab-grown meat and alternative proteins as an appealing alternative to animal products? Nothing. There is a broad agreement that technology in farming should not negatively impact animal welfare. However, these technologies are already being used. Yeah, well, you know, with lab-grown meat, I was wondering this, because they take the cells from living animals. Where is this living animal? How do they take the cells? Do they scrape it from the living animal? Does this hurt the living animal? Are they going to be kept in a pen so that they can sort of continuously get more cells, or do they just need one little batch of cells and then that's it forevermore? I mean, honestly, the whole idea of lab-grown meat, which I reckon they're actually going to try and change the name. They'll go from lab-grown meat to cultivated meat, which doesn't sound so, you know, it's just like going slightly moving away from it very obviously is. We'll notice that. I'm pretty sure in the next year they'll stop saying lab-grown meat and they'll start saying cultivated meat. I mean, partly as well, it's very expensive to do. Thank you for everybody that sent me an email and with regards to the continuing issues with BOVAER, etc. Very interesting to hear some of the farms have stopped, or have they? I don't know. But some are still continuing till the end of the year, apparently. It doesn't change anything in my view. For me, everybody has their rights to how they think and feel. I'm not telling you what to do, but it's completely up to you. I've got all the printables ready for the 5 things. I might, let me know what you think about creating it as a download link via Etsy. It might just be a lot easier if you want them. All you've got to do is go to Etsy, to my Etsy shop, which has got nothing in it at the moment. It's on holiday mode, but maybe it would just make it a lot easier. I don't know. Are they helpful? I don't know either, because it's, now that I know what I can get, where I can get it from, it's almost like you don't need them, but it's handy initially, perhaps, when you first are sort of trying to find stuff that's from BOVAER free sources. Yeah. So all the links, any links that have come from this will be in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.